Today we will be reading If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, written by Laura Nemeroff and illustrated by Felicia Bond. Before we begin reading today, we're going to talk about 3 vocabulary words that will be in this story. So let's go ahead and look at these vocabulary words. Our first vocabulary word will be straw. Our second vocabulary word will be mirror. And our third vocabulary word will be scissors. So these are 3 words that we will listen very closely for throughout the book to discover what these words mean. Let's get started with our reading. If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, written by Laura Nemeroff and illustrated by Felicia Bond. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. When you give him the milk, he'll probably ask you for a straw. There's our first word, straw. A straw is something that you can put in your drink and drink your drink through. When he's finished, he'll ask you for a napkin. Then he'll want to look in a mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. There's our second word, mirror. So a mirror is something that when you look into it, it reflects back exactly what it sees. When he looks into the mirror, he might notice his hair needs a trim. So he'll probably ask for a pair of scissors. There's our third vocabulary word, scissors. So scissors is an object that we use to cut things with. When he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. He'll start sweeping. He might get carried away and sweep every room in the house. He may even end up washing the floors as well. When he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. You'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and a pillow. He'll crawl in, make himself comfortable, and fluff the pillow a few times. He'll probably ask you to read him a story. So you'll read to him from one of your books, and he'll ask to see the pictures. When he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited he'll want to draw one of his own. He'll ask you for paper and crayons. He'll draw a picture. When the picture is finished, he'll want to sign his name with a pen. Then he'll want to hang his picture on your refrigerator. He will need Scotch tape. He'll hang his drawing and stand back to look at it. Looking at the refrigerator will remind him that he's thirsty. So he'll ask you for a glass of milk. And chances are, if he asks you for a glass of milk, he's going to want a cookie to go with it. The end. So this story is about a mouse who goes on an adventure after he eats a cookie. So he ate a cookie and it led to several other events that ended up resulting right back into wanting another glass of milk. So let's look back at our vocabulary words. Our first word in the book that we discovered was straw. So in this book, it says, when you give him the milk, he'll probably ask you for a straw. So here's a picture of the mouse with a straw in the glass. So he's using the straw in this book to drink his glass of milk with. Our second word is mirror. So the mouse, after he drinks his milk, he says he'll want to look in a mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. So we said that a mirror was something that when you look into it, it reflects back exactly what it sees. So here the mouse is looking into the mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. So he's looking in the mirror, and the mirror is showing him his face because that's what's in the mirror. It also says when he looks into the mirror, he might notice that his hair needs a trim. So while he was looking in that mirror at his face, it showed him that he didn't have a milk mustache, but it did show that his hair needed a trim. So he'll probably ask for a pair of scissors. So we said earlier that scissors are objects that are used to cut things. So in this case, the mouse noticed that his hair needed a trim, so he asked for some scissors. So scissors in this case is used to cut the hair of the mouse. So he's going to trim his little hair that he noticed in the mirror. So now that we've talked about how these 3 vocabulary words are used in this book, I want you guys to talk to each other about some ways you might use a straw. Have you ever used a straw before? Yes, I've used a straw too. So what are some things you use to drink a straw with? Good. Milk, orange juice, apple juice. Good. Even water. You could drink water through a straw. Okay, great. So now let's look at our second word. Mirror. Does everyone use a mirror? Has anyone not used a mirror? Okay, so everyone in here has used a mirror before. So what are some things that you do that you look into a mirror for? When you brush your teeth in the morning, you look in the mirror? Yep, I do too. When you brush your hair? Yes, I look in the mirror when I brush my hair. Good, so everyone has used a mirror. Our third word is scissors. So we all know what scissors are, right? We use those in class. We're pretty familiar with what scissors are. So what are some things you use scissors to cut? Paper. We use scissors to cut our paper. Yes, that's a good idea. Great. So everyone knows that scissors are objects that we use to cut things with. Good job. So now that we've talked about our vocabulary words and we're understanding more what those things are and what they mean and what they do, let's talk about how we're going to say these words. So I will say the first word, and I want you to repeat that word after me. Straw. Good. Let's go to our second word. Mirror. Good. Good job, everyone. Let's go to our third word. Scissors. Yes, we got to make sure we're saying those S's. Scissors. Great job. Does anyone have any questions about these words before we move on? Okay, nobody has any questions? Did everyone enjoy reading the adventure of this little mouse in the book? Me too. This is one of my favorite books. I love that in this book, the mouse starts with just simply asking for a cookie, and it leads to so many other adventures throughout the book. And then in the end of the book, it comes right back to him wanting another cookie, and his day kind of starts all over again, because if you give a mouse a cookie, yes, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. Good job. Thank you for participating today.